Good morning, CUNA. So I'm going to be talking about JFAC, Idaho, which is the budgeting committee before the budgets get passed to whatever the respective house for approval. And Representative Tina Lambert is part of this committee. It's about 18 or so, nine. It's like half and half from the Senate. Half is from the Senate, and then half are from the House of Representatives. Um, so this is a email from Senator Herndon from District 1. That's the very north of Idaho. And he talked about how the budget is different now. So, I mean, if it was pretty brutal trying to watch through this. So I'm going to watch it live with you guys and just try to find the money portions of what he's talking about. Because I was trying to locate, where are the, money clips that are great, but it's not really in there. So anyway, he writes, this was an email, I guess, yesterday night. Today is Thursday, January 25th, so this meeting is happening, and maybe I'll cover that. But JFAC, the budget setting committee I mentioned above, has finally changed the way we do business this year. We got 2 new chairmen on the committee last year. Both of them agree that we can and should spend our money more responsibly. So they brought new ideas to JFAC this year, and we implemented them. 3 weeks ago, when we started this session, we decided that we were going to split every agency budget into 2 budgets. Budget number 1 is what the agencies need to continue providing the same level of service they provided last year without anything new, none of their dreams, desires, nor changing needs. Last Tuesday, which we're going to review on January 16th, 15 Republicans on JFAC voted yes for this change. We approved all of these base budgets, which will spend $12.1 billion. Then this spring we are going to meet again and begin to dig deeper into these base budgets to see if the agencies are doing a good job with your money or not. So the fiscal year starts in July 1st to June, the end of June. So it's like in the middle of the year. So that's why they have to come back to I guess make sure it's being used, the half year assessment. Budget number 2 is a new spending the agencies want. Maybe they want to hire new people, get new equipment, rent, or build a new building, add a service. During the week, over the next 10 weeks, our plan is to dive deep into these new requests and approve, change, or disapprove these new budgets in budget setting every Friday. Then we will steadily move these spending bills to the floors of the House and Senate for final considerations by the whole legislature. I got a degree in finance from Arizona State University many years ago, my first job at university. Okay, let me just see if there's any. Okay, so he likes this. I didn't find when they voted on this, but anyway, here's the video. Let's see if we can get through this. I'm pretty sure it's already at 2x speed.
Lent.
Thank you. A quorum being present, we are ready for business. We do excuse a couple of members today due to illness. So, as you know, this is a historic day in JFAC as we contemplate different ways of doing our business that we believe are more transparent and accountable. So, historically, we make statewide decisions later in session in about week 7. We're advancing that to week 2. So we will feel free to have all the discussions. We had lots of good discussion Friday. Feel free to ask your questions again today. We will move slowly. We're dealing in numbers today that are billions with a B. So we want to make sure that our staff has the appropriate amount of time to get those numbers on the screen and visible for all of us to see. If you have questions at any point, please do not hesitate to turn on that mic and ask them. So with that, Mr. Co-Chair, did you have any opening comments?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I'd like to take a few minutes if I may. Thank you very much. Some of you may wonder again, why are we doing this? And one of our goals, is to reduce the redundancy of working through things that we did last year that essentially are the same this year. So rather than spending time on all of those items and have to do it throughout the session, doing that up front. Now, why up front? Because that gives us an opportunity to begin to move budgets to the floor. In the past, as you recall, we wait until the very end, and we've got the last 2 or 3 weeks are just 100 budgets going to both floors and people get inundated with numbers. We're hopeful that by moving this process up and then focusing on the line items, all the things the governor's requested for this year, we can actually get into detail and have a more thorough review of his request. And then we can begin moving budgets to the floor in a couple of weeks and throughout the session so that both the floor as well as we in JFAC will be more thorough in our review. What's the base? Excuse me. First, let me just mention this. There have been some concern that we're not going to ever open these budgets and deal with these issues again. So the maintenance budgets we're doing now are the things that we are in agreement from last year, and I'll walk through one to give you that idea. But we want to get on record. This is our calendar for JFAC for this session. Every entity, agency, department that's listed here will be reviewed in the day that's on the calendar. So that is our plan. We're not trying to pass it all and not consider anything else. Our plan is to consider things more fully than we've been able to do in the past. So for the record, this is our calendar. We will follow it. Now, Mr. Bybee knows we may have to move a day or so back and forth depending on what happens on timing here in JFAC, but I want to get that on record. Let me just kind of walk through briefly the State Board of Education budget. If everybody would pull that one up, it's the second one on your grouping.
Okay, so I think now they're getting to the specific budgets. So you can see here. I mean, this is 2 hours and a half. Can you imagine going through these? So I'm going to just try and get so you can see how they voted on. They do like each section, and they have these presentations. Representative. There is our representative for CUNA. There's 2. Durant. Representative Durant is the other one. Now I don't know if people. This is okay. Let me see.
The lights on, the doors open. That's it.
Yeah, this is he's saying this is our maintenance.
Left it in there where the base would be. And the other is an increase in cost for health and welfare for the last year, the this year swing, the non-discretionary.
So I think they're talking about it. Let me see if there's anything from her.
These requests have been public since September, and I know that many on my committee have been digging into them deeply and meeting with agencies on a regular routine basis to understand what the requests are. So as always on statewide decisions, every member of this committee is free to vote yay or nay according to their own conscience and the way that they feel they're representing their constituents the best. We have dotted our I's and crossed our T's that we are not violating any laws or rules in the way we're proceeding. We have multiple precedents of running budget bills that cover multiple agencies, from PUC, Industrial Commission, tax commissioners, that's a multiple agency budget, to year-end transfers, to holdbacks that happened during the recession. There is ample precedent for passing budgets of the nature that we will consider today. Mr. Co-Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Senator Warden-King, for your questions. Let me just discuss the non-discretionary. Interesting title. Why did we not include that? We considered it, but we decided not to include it because of its volatility. Last year, non-discretionary was $199,485,500 as additional added to the budget in 2024. In the governor's request for 2025, the non-discretionary is actually a reduction. So it's $7 million the other direction. So that's more than a $200 million swing from one year to the next. And what we're looking at are just the things that are stable, that are going from last year to this year, that was voted on and passed last year. If it's stable, we got it in there. If it's volatile, we did not include that because we will all have the opportunity to look at those. For example, just tell you for this year, one of the changes we have is a reduction in public ed of 69 million total. So we did not reduce public education, Senator, by the 69 million. We left it in there where the base would be. And the other is an increase in cost for health and welfare for 62 million, the other direction. And so because of the volatility of those and how it affects different agencies, we felt it best to not include those in the base. The base is just the minimum of the carry forward kind of items that just keeps the thing going. The lights on, the doors open, that's just the base. And so that was a determination to let you deal with those non-discretionary items. And rather than reducing public ed, you may not want to reduce public ed. That'll be your choice.
Thank you, Mr. Co-Chair. Are there questions or comments from the committee? Hearing none, thank you. One of the things I have always loved about JFAC is our commitment to civility and our ability to disagree without being disagreeable. So senators, thank you for expressing your opinions in a civil way that allows us to hear them. And we appreciate your civility in expressing your disagreement. Thank you. Other comments or questions? All right, let us proceed. Mr. Bybee, first up, I believe, is public schools. Do you want to go, are you going to go over the statewide?
Okay, so very minimum, just to keep the lights on. So this is, I'm just going to get to the votes. Okay, here are the votes.
Will you please call the roll?
So what was the motion? Let's hear what the motion is.
From federal funds. From Henry question.
I don't see any other questions. The motion is in order.
Thank you. Beginning with the FY 2025 base, include maintenance adjustments for benefit costs, statewide cost allocation, and CEC. I move $2,694,054,100 from the general fund, $126,497,100 from dedicated funds, $251,147,800 from federal funds for a total of $3,071,699,000.
So one of the other things, that I'm considering is, when the U.S. dollar collapses, you see that column where the federal dollars are coming from. If you imagine that disappeared and how that would fund these sorts of programs. In this case, it seems to be making less than 10%. So in terms of federal dollars, if that just went up in smoke, I think you would, at least this part of the budget or the maintenance, you would still have the lights on, so to speak. Maybe, that's 251 of 3 million. That's less than 10%. So,
Federal funds for a total of $3,071,699,000.
You've heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Representative Lambert seconds. Thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion or
That's our
questions?
representative,
Please, if you have
Lambert.
them, please ask. Hearing none?
Madam Chair, for discussion.
Oh, please, Senator Lent.
This maintenance budget includes the following budgeted divisions: administrators, teachers, operations, children's programs, facilities, central services, and educational services for the deaf and blind.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Figueredo, will you please call the roll?
Senator Grow. Aye. Yerke. Burtonshaw. Lent. Cook. Van Orden. Herndon. Ward Engelking. Just. Sorry. Representative Foreman.
Aye.
Miller. Bundy. Raybold. Furness. Lambert. Tanner. Handy. Green.
So what I understand is this is along party lines. I'm not sure about who all the names are. Okay,
not
so
sure how
that
this
one
is.
passed.
Thank you. We're all doing things for the first time today. Thank you so much. Aye. And to the
Let's see what now they're talking about. Because there's different sections, so they're going to be voting on another one. Let's see if we can. They're on a break. Here's another vote. Let's see what this is about.
consent request. Either one.
Madam Chair, for motion.
Motion's in order.
I request unanimous consent to include standard appropriation language found in the packet and as corrected on the screen with the FY 2025 Public Schools Maintenance Budget.
We have a motion from Senator Lent. Is there a second? Second by Representative Lambert. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve the standard intent language for public schools budgets? Hearing none. Allison, will you please call the roll? No, he made a motion. Senator Lynn, I heard you make a motion and not a unanimous consent request.
It actually reads, I request unanimous consent to include.
Okay.
Would
Then
you-
we do not need to take a roll call. It is a unanimous consent request. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the unanimous consent request passes and the intent language is adopted. Thank you. All right. One down. Mr. State Board made at the request of
Another one. Federal is 52 million of 1 billion. So it's like what, 5%? All right.
hearing none. Ms. Figueredo, would you please call the roll?
Idaho Culture Research and Extension Service, 0.26. For a motion, if there are no more questions, please.
Motion is in order.
Okay, thank you. Beginning with the FY 2025 base, include maintenance adjustments for benefit costs, inflationary adjustments, statewide cost allocation, and CEC. I move $647,918,400 from the general fund, $361,257,700 from dedicated funds, and $52,316,100 from federal funds, for a total of $1,061,492,200 and cap full-time equivalent positions of 561.26.
You've heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Bundy. Is there any discussion on the motion? Senator?
Madam Chair, this maintenance budget includes the following budgeted divisions. As stated before, Agriculture Research and Extension Service, College and Universities, Community Colleges, the Office of the State Board of Education, Health Education Programs, Division of Career Technical Education, Idaho Public Television, Special Programs, Department of Education, Vocational Rehabilitation, and the Charter School Commission.
Is there any further discussion?
Just to keep in mind, I think pretty much once it gets to the Senate and House floors, these all pretty much get rubber stamped, historically speaking, because, this is, I don't even want to watch this stuff, and I'm watching at 2x speed. So, anyway, if you want to watch it, you can
Or
watch it on
questions
YouTube.
about which budgets are in here and what's included? Hearing none. Ms. Figueredo, would you please call the roll?
Senator Grow. Aye. Yerke. Aye. Burtonshaw. Lent. Cook. Van Orden. Herndon. Ward Engelking. Just. Representative Horman.
Aye.
Miller. Bundy. Raybold. Furness. Lambert. Tanner. Handy. Green.
Okay, it looks like, again, I'm guessing this is party lines. You said 15, and there's some abstentions. So that's actually 20, so 10 on each side. All right. All right, let's go.
No, and intent language.
So these are approved in chunks. What is this one? Whoa, this one has a lot of federal dollars. $3 billion. So yeah, this would hurt if the federal government
Area adjustment,
disappeared.
statewide cost allocation, and CEC. I move $1,044,000,000. With that, in application.
What are these?
Okay, we moved through that one relatively quickly, so I think we'll continue until approximately 9:30 when our scheduled break is. And so we'll proceed with Health and Human Services statewide maintenance. Mr. Bybee. I think we'll,
Leading question.
Senator Bierke.
For motion.
Motion's in order.
Beginning with fiscal year 2025 base, include maintenance adjustments for benefit costs, inflationary adjustments, statewide cost allocation, and CEC. I move $1,044,093,900 from the general fund, $745,202,300 from dedicated funds, and $3,295,541,600 from federal funds, for a total of $5,084,837,800 in cap full-time equivalent positions at 3,000.94.
You've heard the motion. Is there a second? Second by Representative Tanner. Thank you. Is there a discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Ms. Figueroa, will you please call the roll when you're ready?
Senator Grow. Aye. Bierke. Aye. Burtonshaw. Aye. Lent. Cook. Van Orden. Herndon. Aye. Ward Engelking. Aye. Just. Representative Horman.
Aye.
Miller. Aye. Lundy. Aye. Raybold. Aye. Furness. Lambert. Tanner. Aye. Handy. Aye. Green.
Okay, same thing. I'm guessing that's party lines. Just want to double check, what is this for? What would be...
Maintenance budget.
So education.
Code here, so this is just a more normalized process.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
Computer and the analyst computer, and so there's a little bit of lag to make sure all the system.
For that expert.
But so in this case, the very first piece of language that you would see for the college universities on top, it allows the state 5.
The last piece on the screen in front of you. Are there any questions or concerns about any of this language? Senator Van Orden.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for a motion, please.
A motion or unanimous consent request is in order.
I request unanimous consent to include standard appropriation language.
You've heard the...
Okay, thank you, Madam Chairman. The next budget before the committee is for the Health and Human Services budget. Just going through the budgeted divisions here, this budget would include Child Welfare Division, the services for the developmentally disabled, Service Integration, Division of Welfare, Division of Medicaid, Public Health Services, Licensing and Certification, Substance Abuse and Treatment Prevention, Mental Health Services, Psychiatric Hospitalization, Independent Counsels, and the State Independent Living Council. This budget is going to include all of the standard maintenance adjustments that we've been talking about all morning. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bybee. The Health and Human Services statewide maintenance is before the committee. Are there any questions or discussion at this point? Hearing none. Are there any motions?
I'm thinking that sounds like it's Medicaid, but you heard the things that it covered. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next part. You have to see, they have to vote on each of these chunks. 15 million of 514 million. So this, once again, if the federal government disappeared on this one, not a big deal. Not a lot of money. 15 of 514, that's less than, I'm not even going to do the math right now. All right, so here's their votes, and predominantly yay against, once again, against party lines. So what is the
positions at
motion?
3,200 statewide cost allocation and CEC. I move $425,311,100 from the general fund, $75,472,200 from dedicated funds,
Senator Burtonshaw, could you repeat that number, please?
$6,500 from federal funds, for a total of $514,431,800 in cap full-time equivalent positions at 3,275.61.
You've heard the motion. Is there a second? I'll second that. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair. This maintenance budget includes the following budgeted divisions: Department of Corrections, Department of Juvenile Corrections, and the Idaho State Police.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Figueroa, will you please call the roll?
Okay, that was what it was. Okay, what is this one? 267, so half. Half. If the federal government went away, this is how it would affect Idaho. Okay, let's hear the motion.
For discussion.
Representative Miller.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This maintenance budget includes the following budget divisions: Department of Environmental Quality, Department of Fish and Game, Endowment Fund Investment Board, Department of Lands, Department of Parks and Recreation, and Department of Water Resources.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, Ms. Figueroa, will you please call the roll?
Miller.
All right, same
Votes. 7 aye, 2 nay, 1 absent, and excused.
Okay,
Fiscal.
I didn't hear anything that normal people would probably notice if it was cut in half, but break. No, I guess this. All right, what is this one? Half is federal for this one. All right, let's see what this is. Let's hear the motion.
Department of Finance at $90,627,000 for a total of $1,320,620,800 and a cap full-time equivalent positions at $3,780.28.
You've heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Handy. Senator Cook, do you have any discussion on your motion?
Yes, I do. This maintenance budget includes the following budgeted divisions: Department of Agriculture, Soil and Water Conservation Commission, Department of Commerce, Department of Finance, Industrial Commission, Department of Insurance, Department of Labor, Public Utilities Commission, and then your self-governing services of Commission on Hispanic Affairs, Idaho State Historical Society, Idaho Commission for Libraries, State Library, Office of State Public Defender, State Appellate Public Defender, Division of Veteran Services, Division of Occupational Professional Licenses, Office of Administrative Hearings, and Idaho Transportation Department.
Thank you, Senator. Is there any additional discussion or questions on the...
Yeah, Idaho Transportation Department. You need that.
Ernest, Lambert, Tanner,
But anyway, whatever.
Andy,
I don't know the
Green.
exact line items. Again, here, vote similarly with everything else. So
You have
one
to-
party lines. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so half comes from the federal government.
of Energy and Mineral Resources, Office of Species Conservation.
And here's the vote. So let's hear the motion.
The budget is before the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Bybee. Are there any questions? Representative Furness.
For a motion,
Motion's in order.
beginning with fiscal year 2025 base, $155,000 and $107,500.
Representative Furness, do you wish to discuss your motion?
Yes, ma'am. This maintenance budget includes the following budgeted divisions: Department of Administration, Commission on Aging, Commission on the Arts, Commission on the Blind and Visually Impaired, Office of Drug Policy, Office of Energy and Mineral Resources, Division of Financial Management, Division of Human Resources, Office of Information Technology Services, State Liquor Division, Military Division, Public Employee Retirement System, Office of Species Conservation, STEM Action Center, Wolf Depredation Control Board, Workforce Development Council, Board of Tax Appeals, and State Tax Commission.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Any questions? Hearing none, Ms. Figueredo, will you please call the roll?
Senator Grow,
Okay, who wants to predict along party lines? Here we go. Yep. All right, let's go to the next one. This one gets no federal funds. Oh, it looks like you can see the overall. It's like 15 billion is the total. 3 billion coming from federal funds. I don't know if that's correct.
This budget in front of you. Mr. Co-Chair,
For a motion?
a motion.
Thank you, Madam Co-Chair. I move beginning with the fiscal year 2025 base, include maintenance adjustments for benefit costs, statewide cost allocation, and CEC. I move $9,181,800 from the general fund and $2,384,700 from dedicated funds, for a total of $11,566,500, and cap full-time equivalent positions at 82.
You've heard the motion. I will second that motion. Senator Grow, for discussion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This maintenance budget includes the following budgeted divisions: Legislative Services Office and Office of Performance Evaluations. The legislature has a budget of $8,511,000, which is continuously appropriated and is tracked on the general fund daily update to ensure accounting for all funds appropriated from the general fund.
Thank you, Senator Grow. Are there any other questions?
Okay, let's see the votes. It is the same. Okay, let's go to the next one.
With the fiscal
FY
Yeah, barely anything from the federal government on
base,
this
Senator.
one. Let's get to the votes and the motion.
Representative Raybold and Rothenberg.
Madam Chair, I would note that this budget includes the following divisions: Court Operations, Guardian Ad Litem, and the Judicial Council.
Thank you. Is there further discussion?
Okay. Yep, party lines again. All right, barely anything from federal again. What is this about?
Madam Chair, and cap full-time equivalent positions at 430.50.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second? Second by Senator Herndon. Representative, do you have any discussion on your motion?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. The maintenance budget includes the following constitutional officers: Executive Office of the Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, State Controller, Secretary of State, and State Treasurer.
Thank you. You've heard the discussion. Are there further questions or discussion?
Okay, and it'll probably go. Yep, there it is.
Are there any-
Party lines. Curious what the Democrats would say. Why they're voting nay? Like, but okay, that's it. No more voting. So what is she saying to close it out?
So, thank you, committee. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your patience as we have plowed new ground in the way we make statewide decisions this year, and we appreciate the work that you have done on these budgets. Mr. Co-Chair, do you have any comments? No? All right. As promised, we will be taking up all agency budgets that have line item requests or replacement items or other additions. Again, as mentioned previously, budgets that do not have any budget enhancements requested, as is typical, In the second session, we do not hold hearings on those. They're listed on the bottom of this colorful block sheet that we have. The delay to taking up these maintenance budgets from yesterday to today will cause us now to have to condense the budgets we were to take up starting today into the rest of the week. Mr. Bybee will get that schedule out and published today so that everyone knows which budget will be considered on which day this week. We hope to catch up so that on Monday, January 22nd, we can resume the schedule as posted. But we are going to have to condense 4 days worth of budget work now into 3 days for this week. Mr. Bybee, do you have anything to add to that?
Madam Chairman, I don't at the moment. I'm going as fast as I can on this stuff, so I'll get caught up this afternoon.
We'll get that out to you later today and get it posted as soon as we can. But Historical Society, Commission for Libraries, and Office of Drug Policy were supposed to be heard today. They will be heard tomorrow, and we'll make adjustments with the rest of them from there. Are there any questions from the committee? These budget hearings will include the shortened version of a presentation by each of our analysts with some trend data, some historic data, as you saw at the JFAC fall meetings, and then the opportunity for the agency directors to stand in front of the committee, respond to any questions we have. I would encourage you to get online tonight. Their PowerPoints have been submitted. I believe they're uploaded into SharePoint and online. You might want to take a look at those today before the hearings tomorrow, because that will be the basis. We're hoping to have more of a discussion in here than a lecture. We are hoping for more interactive back and forth. So take a look at that as you prepare for tomorrow. There is no other business to come before the committee. We stand adjourned until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
All right. So there may be a problem Thursday. What is he saying? Some in Republican leadership do not like the new process and they want to kill it. Yes, we duly passed $12.1 billion of base budgets last Tuesday, which is a video we reviewed in JFAC. The vote was 15 Republicans in favor, 3 Democrats against, and 2 Republicans absent. It was overwhelmingly affirmative and along party lines, but for several days, there has been pressure by Senate leadership to abort the new process. I am told that they do not want this new, better way. I don't know why. They have been pushing incredible pressure on JFAC Senate Chairman Scott Grow. The new way is better for regular people like you, me, and Granny. It is better for all Idaho. So tomorrow at 9:40 a.m. Mountain Time, actually it's about time when this video comes out, Thursday morning, we are going to have a Senate Republican caucus meeting to discuss the subject. I'm not sure if that video is going to be public. And now I am delving into deep into Idaho budgeting stuff, and I didn't want to do this, but I used the excuse of Representative Tina Lambert, because she's our representative. But yeah, now I think I actually have the video from the Wednesday, and I think they're going forward. They're doing each line item for each agency, trying to get this budget number 2, which is the new spending the agencies want. So they already did the maintenance budgets, and I'm not sure if the House already voted on these or not, but generally speaking, they always they basically rubber stamp whatever JFAC goes through. I went through the condensed version at 2x speed over 30 minutes, and yeah, that's anyway, I hope you learned something about this process. I certainly did, and appreciate you watching this and learning with me as I went through it as well. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.